If you want to learn about creative AI, Bob Doyle Media, he's your guy.
I'm a gorilla driving a bus, and I do not see what all the fuss is about. I got a license fair and square.
Come on down to Rogers Food if you like getting sick.
Rogers!
We have a special message and we want you all to know. You're watching Bob Doyle Media, and now back to the show.
Welcome back to the channel where we discuss the creative uses of AI, and what you just saw was created by today's sponsor. Lemon Slice made a pretty good showing on our channel not that long ago with its natural movement applied to photographs based on an audio file. This was a prime example. This AI picture of Tracy.
My emotional expression, because it seemed to indicate confusion the last time. So now I'm just extremely excited about everything I tell you, except when I think about it.
But as good as it was not without its limitations, many of which have been addressed with these updates that I'm going to share with you today with their new version 2.7 model and their conversations. If you're someone who's interested in bringing photos and videos of real people to life through dialogue and conversation, and not just one person at a time, or if you're into music and you want to create music videos where people sing in unison or there's a duet, this is the video for you to watch, because Lemon Slice addresses all of this and it does it beautifully. And I'm very excited to share some of these examples with you. But first, let's get into what's new with the new model. We're going to jump into the studio here. There are two basic sections we're going to look at today, the studio and the conversations. The studio here, I would just give you the basic idea of how things work. You start with your image, and you've got a lot of flexibility here. You can use an image that you've already created, or you can generate an image here, and you have access to several really good image generation models. I almost always use Flux Context at the 16.9 aspect ratio. In this case, I'll use Flux now because it's really fast, and the prompt would just be a man sitting at a counter in a cafe, and you generate that image in just a few seconds. If you don't like it, you can keep going, but this is fine. We'll just use that image, and then you would select your audio file, and you have several options there. You can upload audio, and it will save your uploads so you can reuse them. You can type a script where you just type in your script and you choose a voice. In this case, I chose my own. Click on generate.
This is what I want to say. I can't say it any other way.
And if I like that, I just click on use audio and it will appear here. But I don't have to do it that way. I can select audio and also record audio right from the page. I'm recording audio right from the page because I said it could, and I really like this diner too. Not that you asked. And there it is. We can listen. I'm recording audio. It's there. Use this audio, and there it is. But that's not all, my friends. You can also generate AI music right within the platform. It uses the Sun Auto platform, which I've reviewed here on the channel. Now, I will say that for every piece of music you have heard and will hear on this one, I actually used Suno, their cover feature, because I was singing all of these songs into my phone and then converted them into these audio files. And that's not something that Sun Auto can do. But you have the ability to generate audio right here in the platform. It will separate the voice out and put the lip sync on there and put it right back on top of the music track, so it's seamless. Separate audio is a feature that so many people out there have been wanting. This will allow you to upload an audio of two people talking, and it will separate the two speakers, which gives you lots of flexibility when it comes to getting very specific with your lip sync, and it can really come in handy in the conversation mode, which we'll look at shortly. The real advancements have come over here in the models section. The generations that we did the last time on this platform were at 480p, and now we can get all the way up to 1080p on the platform. We also have a brand new model, the 2.7 model, and that allows us to add the background motion. Whereas before we had the face and the head movement, but nothing was going on in the background, and now we have great animation happening and adds a whole other level of realism. Let's do some side-by-side comparisons of the exact same image with the exact same audio driving it, except two different models. So on the left here we have Lemon Slice 2.5, and on the right we have Lemon Slice 2.7. We'll just start these at the same time. So pay close attention to what's going on in both of these images. There's also audio playing.
Hi, my name's Cecilia. I've got a fuzzy coat, and it's got two different colors on it. Do you know what colors they are? If you do, yell them out loud as you can. But if your mom and dad are sleeping, you want to go in their room so they're sure to hear it.
Okay, so we'll play it here without the audio so you can see. Over here in 2.5, it was cute animation, but we had a good bit of tearing, especially when she blinked like just then. Here, everything's a lot more smooth. It doesn't look quite so, exaggerated. And everything stays in position. There's no tearing. There's nice hand movement. And it just looks a lot better. I think that's very clear. Again, we have 2.5 over here on the left and 2.7 on the right.
I would give it to you, and it would go something like this.
when I'm walking down the street and I'm close to the edge of the sidewalk and I'm clearly not looking where I'm going, someone needs to tell me that. Someone needs to come up and prevent me from, putting my heel down in the grate or slipping on a pine cone or something. And how did a pine cone get into the city? Who do I need to talk to?
Obviously, there's no background movement of any kind over here, and the head stays in a very stationary position. And here she's looking around. We have traffic in the background. We have walking in the background. Obviously, just a much more alive scene with 2.7. One more side-by-side comparison, then we're going to get into the exciting new examples and show you what you can do now.
I'm standing in the middle of a field. As far as I know, there is no one around. If you see someone, will you tell me?
So we've got tearing right away with this. It's a nice animation in terms of the realism of the movement, except for the tearing and the low resolution, whereas over here we have a resolution of 1234 by 692 as compared to the 672 by 384. Very smooth movements. We've got the flowers swaying in the breeze. We've even got somebody walking in here at the very end. Now you have two different ways you can edit these after the fact. Let's just get in here and show you. If I click the remix button here, you have remix image, and if I remix the image, that allows me to go back and change this image if I want to, or change the audio, and then it will apply a new animation to this image. If I say remix video, it will now load up a 10-second video that it created from that image before it applied the lip sync to it. So if I just play this image, it's just the camera moving around and applying that background motion, but there's no lip sync yet. So if I like that animation, but I just want to change what the character says, that's a way I can do this, and whatever I change here will be applied to that animation. We're going to pop back over into the studio in a minute when we get into the music piece so we can compare how you do music differently in studio and conversations. But this is the really exciting part for me, or anybody who likes to create dialogue between multiple characters. There are 4 different modes of conversation you can use. A script mode allows you just to bring in or create any image, define the characters that you want to talk, and then type in a script for them. In script mode, there is no limit to the characters that you can add. I've got 6 characters here, and down here I assigned a different voice for each of them and then typed out line by line what I wanted them to say. As I type these lines, they're generated in real time. As you edit, it creates an edited and compiled audio of everything that's being said.
Hey, do any of you know what time it is?
I do.
Me too. I also know what time it is.
So you've got all the voices in there in one file. Then you would just click generate video. In just one pass, you get this.
Hey, do any of you know what time it is?
I do.
Character
Me
2.
too.
Character 3.
I also know what time it is.
Character 4.
I do not know what time it is.
Character 5.
Okay, well, could any of you who do know what time it is, please tell me?
I guess so.
Character 6.
Sure.
So, who wants to do it?
Well, I don't want to do it, but I'll do it.
Oh, forget it. I'll buy a watch.
That is pretty amazing to me and a lot of creative potential, but you may have noticed that the background wasn't moving. That's because currently with any more than 2 characters, you need to use version 2.5 of the model. If I do 2.7, it will tell me that it will only support 2 characters and I'm going to lose the definition of these other characters. So to get all the benefits of version 2.7, for the time being, you need to keep the dialogues down to 2 people. Next is music mode, which is going to be the main focus of this video, so we're going to come back to it after I touch on these. Notebook LM mode allows you to bring in 2-person audio, like something that's generated from Notebook LM. If I'm switching modes, it's going to delete the work I've done because it doesn't apply here. This would not be an appropriate image for this necessarily because it's 2 people in a podcast or having some other kind of conversation. So we'd probably want to choose an image with 2 people, something like this, for example. Then define who is character 1 and character 2 by drawing boxes around them. Then you just drop in the audio file with the 2 different voices on it and it will do the separation for you. And then when you render, each one will talk the way it needs to. Upload mode is where you already have predefined audio files for each character. You switch to that. So if I wasn't going to be generating any text to speech and if I wasn't separating an audio file and I had these 2 different audio files for these characters, I would just upload each audio separately, generate, and it would have the conversation. So you might go into an audio editor knowing what the dialogue is going to be and do something like, "Hey, nice shirt. Where'd you get that? Could I borrow it sometime?" Just leaving enough for her answer, and then I'll go up here and record the response. "Hey, nice shirt. Where'd you get that? Could I borrow it sometime?" First of all, it's my mom's, and no, you can't. It's not for you. You want to make sure that both files are exactly the same length, so we're just going to trim that up there and then export them. Then back in Lemon Slice, we upload each of those individually. You can actually just drag and drop the files, which is sweet. I think I actually reversed V2 and V1 when I did this, so this is actually the first character and this is the second character. So here we're actually going to load up V2, and then here we will load up V1 because I had them reversed, but then that will assign them correctly. Again, it assembles the entire dialogue down here. Hey, nice shirt. Where'd you get that? Could I borrow it sometime? First of all, it's my mom's, and no, you can't. When it comes to choosing the video model for this, you have two choices. You have the 2.5 model and you have the 2.7 model. In the conversation mode only, there is an 8-second limit for using the 2.7 model. Now, at first, you may seem, well, that's really restrictive. What am I going to do with that? Stay tuned. I'm going to show you exactly what you can do with that. And I actually used an example in the opening. In this case, because this dialogue happens to time out, I have the ability to use version 2.7, which is going to give me movement in the background and just much more movement in general. If you're going to use 2.7, you got to describe the motion that you want back there. So I'll say a windy day with leaves blowing in the background, two people talking. Real simple, and we'll generate that. Now, I will say this, 2.7 takes a hot minute to generate, so just be ready to be patient. Hey, nice shirt. Where'd you get that? Could I borrow it sometime? First of all, it's my mom's, and no, you can't. Now let's go back to the music mode, because here's where we're going to have a lot of fun. This allows you to apply the lip sync to every character in your image. This is perfect for groups that sing in unison like barbershop quartets or choirs or duets.
We are two guys and we sing together. We clearly don't care about bad weather. We go outside, we take a ride on a bus, and we don't know what we'll find.
For example, for the opening, I had this still image of these two women. I defined them as character 1 and character 2, just to let Lemon Slice know that I want both these ladies to sing. Uploaded the music track, which in this case was only 7 seconds.
If you want to learn about creative AI, Bob Doyle Media, he's your guy.
Because I use version 2.7, we have full body movement.
If you want to learn about creative AI, Bob Doyle Media, he's your guy.
Here's a demonstration between the differences between the 2.5 model and the 2.7 model when you've got two people singing the same song.
I got more coffee than blood in my veins, got bags underneath my eyes.
Over here, you've just got the head and face moving, and over here, you've got the entire bodies swaying. So it's a big difference in terms of looking real. Same audio clip, but different image, obviously 2.5 versus 2.7.
I got more coffee than blood in my veins, got bags underneath my eyes that make Louis Vuitton look ashamed.
So only head and face movement over here, not even that much head movement over here with 2.5. And over here, we got the truck driving down the road, which was part of the prompt instruction that's required to give. This is also music mode, so everybody's going to sing in unison. But because I've got 4 voices, I really don't have the option to use model 2.7. I can only use version 2.5 if I want to use that.
We have a special message and we want you all to know. You're watching Bob Doyle Media, and now back to the show.
Since this is 2.5, we don't have body movement or any background movement, but the head movement is so engaging you really don't even notice. In studio mode, you do not have an 8-second limitation with one character. So we've got this singer here. This is a 22-second song. It could be however long I wanted to. It is the 2.7 model. If I don't click extend mode, then the audio will cut off at the end of the 10 seconds of the video that is generated to bring this thing to life. So if your clip is longer than 10 seconds, you'll always want to click extend mode.
I'm a gorilla driving a bus, and I do not see what all the fuss is about. I got a license fair and square. So what if I got a little extra hair? I know the rules and I drive real safe.
Another example here with one image and then 1:12, but also the 2.7 model. As this plays, take a look at the background motion.
I don't wanna have to do this, but you really have to go. Why you're still around and bothering me, I really need to know. But don't waste time to tell me now, 'cause I don't want you here. So if you do not leave right now, I hope these words you'll hear. I'm gonna hit you in the face and knock you down the steps. Then I'm gonna call my brother, and he will come along with a mobile phone, and he will call your mother. And then you'll be sorry that you ever showed up, and I'll bet you already are. But if you leave right now, I'll just get right back in my car.
So So I wanted to let that play so that you saw that expression that she put on her face when she hit that high note, just like a real singer would. I thought that was an amazing touch. But there is another option if you want longer videos with music with background motion, and that comes from the magic of being able to load a video up here instead of an image. For this project, here is the video that's running in the background. I actually generated this in another platform. There's no audio associated with it. It's just me holding a guitar playing in an empty arena. And then I went over to Suno and had it write a song about playing a guitar in an empty arena.
I'm the type of guy who brings a guitar to an empty stadium.
So now, even though I'm using the 2.5 model, I have background motion going on with my song.
I'm the type of guy who brings a guitar to an empty stadium, 'cause he likes the way the acoustic sound. But when there's no one here to clap or cheer or say I'm great, it isn't quite the same as when I take it on a date. Yes, I bring my guitars on dates, and they say they love it. And if there were a second date, they tell me then to shove it in the back of the car, and we would drive very far to some place we really have some fun.
This isn't a song, but this is an example of putting new audio on top of an existing video. And in this case, the video already has audio on it with lip sync. Hello, I'm Bob Doyle, I think. And I uploaded different audio that goes like this. Welcome, that was a very poor beginning of a sentence. But let's just see. So even though there was already mouth movement on that video, this is what it came up with the new audio. Welcome, that was a very poor beginning of a sentence. But let's just see what the technology does to my face when I try and say words like whatever it is I tried to say. Okay, I suppose that's good enough. Now, there was some hand tearing there with the movement, and there's some best practices around hands that I didn't follow there for that example because I was really testing putting other audio on top of an already existing lip-synced video, and I was really pleased with the way it turned out. And just before I share what I think is the perfect use case for a model that currently only supports 8 seconds, just want to share a little trick with you to make your videos look a little bit more realistic given that it doesn't have background motion. Here I was in script mode and I had this one still image, character 1 and character 2, and it's this whole dialogue about him kind of wanting a date with her and her making an excuse for not being able to do it. Because the length of the dialogue was more than 33 seconds, I had to use model version 2.5. As you look at this real quick, even though there's no background motion or anything like that, the facial and the head animation and the way that the text-to-speech interpreted what was really going on there and applied the appropriate emotion is pretty amazing to me.
Hey, can I ask you a question?
Sure, what's up?
Well, I wanted to ask you about this weekend. You never really got back to me.
Oh, right.
So it looks pretty dead even though the animation is okay. But if you bring it into a video editor and add a little bit of camera shake to it and some background noises, a little urban traffic, now it's more like this.
Hey, can I ask you a question?
Sure, what's up?
Well, I wanted to ask you about this weekend. You never really got back to me.
Oh, right. This weekend. Well, I think I told you my sister might be coming.
Yeah, you did.
Okay. Well, yeah. She's coming in on Friday night, and she really kind of just wanted to hang at home after her trip.
And Saturday?
Yeah, well, I kind of promised her I'd take her to see the Sphere.
Ah.
So...
Okay, no, it's okay. I get it.
Okay, great. Thanks for understanding.
So even though there wasn't any other movement except the head and the face, just that little bit of camera shake and the sound effects in the background, to me just adds a little bit more realism, takes away from the fact that everything is so static, and you can pay more attention to the dialogue that's going on and see the looks on their face and how she's darting her eyes around trying to come up with an excuse. If you didn't catch that, go back and watch it again. So let's talk about that 8-second use case. I was racking my brain going, but what good is 8 seconds? And then it dawned on me. Commercial jingles, the little sting at the end of stuff where they've got the goofy little song that says, come on down to. So if you got a music track like this.
If you need corn and you need it real bad, come on down to Corny's and ask for my dad. Corny's!
You just create an image of two guys in a cornfield, put a little sign that says Corny's on it, and you have the perfect commercial tag.
If you need corn and you need it real bad, come on down to Corny's and ask for my dad. Corny's!
This just really got my creative juices flowing. So I'd go to my phone, record some goofy 8-second jingle, run it through Suno, get this audio track, bring it in here, get two people to sing together, and I've created a little montage of these jingles for you to enjoy.
Flamo's Pizza is always guaranteed hot. Ow!
nuts. We got really comfy chairs for all of your butts. Glue and huts. Everyone loves a perfume that smells like salami.
Zombie outlet for all your zombie needs. If you ever see us walking down the street, come up and take a selfie.
Suffice it to say, this tool is a huge playground for someone like me who loves to do dialogue, who loves music and the singing. There is just so much creative flexibility, whether you're doing one character or multiple characters, whether you're just doing speaking and dialogue or a whole musical production. Lemon Slice, in my mind, is kicking it out of the park, and I have been playing with this thing for 2 days straight, just going, okay, one more jingle. The quality of the new model is great, and there are even more features added to the platform that I didn't even get around to telling you about that I'll do in another video. If there's ever a subject that I cover and you'd like a deeper dive on it, it'd be good to know that, because maybe I can do it. If these are the types of solutions you are looking for in the AI space, well, why not subscribe to this channel, because we are too, and we do it all the time.
If you subscribe now, I will not look for you. I will not pursue you. But if you do not, I will look for you. I will find you. And I